3 months ago, we explored Chainlink's potential to reach new all-time highs. Does that outlook still hold today? In this video, we'll analyze the latest Elliott Wave counts for Chainlink and examine the possible scenarios ahead of us. And in order to do that, we'll rely on our go-to trusty handy tool, the Elliott Wave theory, for deeper market insights. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the XForceGlobal channel. I am a certified Elliott Wave analyst, and I'm here to provide non-biased updates for both Bitcoin and altcoins. But before we begin, just a very quick reminder to please make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your support means everything to me. Thank you so much. So I was able to narrow down two scenarios that could still give us a potential outlook for Chainlink's bullish continuation. And the first idea that we have here is a series of nested 1-2s, which builds upon a 1-2, 1-2 continuation to the upside that could potentially breach the previous all-time high. Now, we got a lot of obstacles to go through because we did get an abrupt rejection above this previous 1-2, but that still gives us an opportunity right now, whether this is going to be deemed as a possible buying the dip opportunity. But if we go back to our previous video, we also discussed that we were very confident and also working on the conviction that this was definitely a 5-wave move up into that primary wave 1 as we have here. And then we could have been working in a minor or intermediate degree, and it looks like we were creating a minor degree to the upside into that first intermediate wave 1. So we got another pullback during that time, and now what could be possibly a finished correction as an ABC is probably a very small window of opportunity for this to actually be a support bottom, and we may be working for a wave 3 to the upside. That may be this extension of this primary wave 3 that we're looking for of this higher degree here. So if that happens, it needs to happen very soon. We are sticking or adhering to pretty much all the rules and guidelines here as best as we can. And one of the guidelines that we want to be making sure that we obey as best as we can is that our parent degrees are larger than our lower degree wave 1-2. So if that's the case, this wave 1-2, we do have a pretty good evidence that there is a finished ABC here. However, with all of the turbulence that's going in the markets right now, the risk is still there that we may be working in a larger distribution phase. So that also leads me into the second scenario that we could just be alternatively be working in a larger distribution phase before the actual larger move happens to the upside. Now, this is just all opportunity, and the reason why I'm not seeing any bearish possibilities here is just due to the fact that this here wasn't looking like a 5-wave move. Everything seemed corrective within the cycle wave 1-2, meaning that we saw a triple zigzag correction to the downside. Now, a triple zigzag as a WXYXZ is a very rare type of pullback, especially on the macro, but it is what it is. We did get a series of 3s within each of those WXYXZ respectively. So if you can see here, we have the first W, the X, the Y, the X, and then a Z that has finished as a possible wave 2. Now, alternatively, a lot of people might say that this is a 5-wave move, but I have to digress because there's no good-looking 5th wave that has ended here. This is all, to me, what could be seen as a possible very strong potential bottom and an accumulation zone where we were doing a lot of choppiness here and people didn't want to break this low over here. So what that means is that the follow-up was a strong impulse off of the lows, and that put us into that first primary degree wave 1. Now, is this the second phase of the accumulation where we create a more broader distribution pattern as a possible flat pattern? This flat pattern is going to be observed as a 3-3-5 sequence, meaning that this move here, we're keeping the integrity of the WXY here instead of labeling this as a wave 1-2. The rationality also fits into this idea as well, where we may be creating another 3-wave here and then another 5-wave move to the downside to complete the overall flat, expanded flat idea, that is, where we create a price extreme for a wave B and a price extreme for a C as well, breaching the previous termination points of this wave A and this wave 1, respectively, for this B and C. So if that's the case, we're going to be looking for another possible 40 to 50% move to the downside. There is a possibility that we can just say that the wave 2 has ended here or anywhere in between above this termination point of wave 8 as a running flat. So if we get supported there, there's a lot of room for what could be a bullish continuation. So this is all just distribution if we're taking the sense that we're treating this whole move as a possible flat idea. Now, the first idea is losing its validity in terms of, well, not validity, I would say more of the integrity of it, meaning that it's becoming increasingly unlikely to see a series of 1-2s within the crypto markets at this time of the stage of the markets, meaning that Bitcoin is already in such a turbulent and volatile state, possibly working for the final fifth wave to the upside. So this may be a little bit too ambitious, meaning that, Chainlink may need a little bit more distribution as Bitcoin calms down. So it needs to taper down a bit for Bitcoin in order for us to really find whether this is going to be the true overall narrative going forward, because this is really bullish, meaning that Link could be reaching over $200 per link, basically working for a wave 3 to the upside. And if that's the case, then this is going to be extremely bullish, but it's not out of the picture. Like I said, the overall macro structure is the key point, that we had a triple zigzag that completed as a cycle wave 2. But if we're going to come back down to earth and just be a little bit more rational, there is a possibility that we may be working in an expanded flat. This is going to be treated as a larger accumulation zone. So those are the two scenarios, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's really much to update, because the integrity of not only the cycle degree is still well held in place. We have a very clean textbook 5-wave move to the upside into some kind of wave 1 of a larger degree. And now we're just figuring out whether this wave 2 was terminated here or this wave 2 is still in play. That is something for you to decide on your own. However, as Bitcoin is currently still in a volatile state, there is a lot of risk in that sense in terms of choosing the right coins. And that also brings me into what my risk management portfolio stands by, is that I am personally not accumulating Link. I'm more playing this as a medium time frame, and also making sure that I'm highly liquid and be able to also exit the markets appropriately if things were to turn sour for Link, so that I get more opportunity to accumulate if this does actually turn into some kind of accumulation. So you see the strategy is far different, as opposed to XRP and Litecoin that I've shared publicly that I am accumulating. Is very difficult for how we're going to be seeing Link in the shorter time frame. That's why these two scenarios, not only just two scenarios, but overall crypto markets are heavily decoupled, especially with Bitcoin, XRP, blue chip coins, medium cap coins like Link, and all these lower cap coins, meme coins, have already vanished. So as you can see, a lot of these coins, with so many coins in the ecosystem right now, it's very difficult to find what is a good optimal entry. And right now, Link right now does fit into the higher spectrum of the tier. Like I said, I have already explained this in my live streams. I categorize my coins as tier 1, 2, and 3. Usually tier 3, I'm not even in it. Tier 1 are the higher accumulative coins that actually show strength and multi-year accumulation. XRP and Litecoin. I do have one other coin that I didn't share yet. And then Link would actually fit in the top of what tier 2 would fit into, because we do have a clear textbook Elliott Wave structure, but we just don't have the conviction just yet, because we could still be working in a larger 1-2. But if this were to turn into a larger 1-2 distribution, it would go back and forth in between the 1 and 2 tier. So if that's the case, that's the easiest way that we can organize it in terms of how we should be approaching the risk management. And to me right now, it's not a long-term accumulation, but a short-term play, which means that we have to reduce the amount that we're accumulating for Link and focus on other coins that have higher potential for a longer, more accumulation pattern to being built that could give us a far better breakout trade, whereas opposed to this, we're betting on just a 1-2 and then 3 that's going to be the highest profitability. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining. If you're interested in joining the Discord membership, where I share all of my insights, market sentiment, and timely updates, not only for Bitcoin, but for altcoins as well, the links are in the description below. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And then we also offer a more watered down service, which is the Patreon, where I offer 2 video updates. Please feel free to join that. The links are in the description below as well. We offer 2 video updates in there as well every Wednesday and Friday. So thank you very much. Please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Your support means everything to me. I will see you guys in the next video. This was my 5th update this week, ladies and gentlemen. It's insane. So please make sure to hit that like button. Thank you. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.